He was going to turn around and go back home when he heard funny sounds coming from the chief priest's hut. He peeped through a small opening at the window and saw Yagazie and the chief priest in the act. Adaku woke up that morning very happy and energetic. The day was a wedding day, but it was beyond just the wedding for Adaku. She was going to become a wife like every bride after the wedding. But what excites her the most was that she wasn't just going to be the wife to any and just a random man in Obodozala village, their village, but the wife of Jidenna. Jidenna is the son of Maduka, who was just a mere hunter and is not among one of the rich men in the village. But Jidenna was no mere man like his father. Though he first became a hunter just as his father, he later became a man of great might and whom everyone in the village came to respect when he saved the village from the hands of some fierce, strong, monstrous warriors who were sent to destroy them. Obodozala village was attacked by another village called Udogu, who wanted to take over their land. Despite the might of the Obodozala warriors, the Udogu warriors were more fierce and stronger, and so they were almost defeating the Obodozala warriors when Jidenna, who could no longer stand by, went into the battlefield and slayed most of the strongest warriors of Udogu village. Now, Jidenna was not a warrior, but he could fight, and that too very well. When Jidenna was a boy, he had learned how to wield the sword and how to fight. The father of his closest friend, Tochi, had taught him how to fight. Tochi's father was part of the warriors of the village, and Tochi also became a warrior when he grew older. However, Jidenna could not join the warriors and become one because his late mother made him promise her that he would not become one. Jidenna's maternal grandfather was a warrior, but he died in battle when Jidenna's mother was still so little. Her only an older brother was also a warrior, and he also died in battle. And so, it is because of this that Jidenna's mother cried and made her son promise that he would not become a warrior. Before she made him promise, she made several attempts to stop him from going to train with Tochi and his father. But Jidenna did not listen until she explained to him that she did not want him to become a warrior because she does not want to lose him like she lost her father and only brother. It was at this point that Jidenna understood his mother's fear and made the promise to stop training and never to join the village's war force, and the reason why he became a hunter as his father. But when the war between his village and the Udogu happened, and Jidenna saw that his village was losing and they would become slaves if they lose, Jidenna, who still secretly trains in the forest, had to join the other warriors to battle, even when their king was skeptical about him being able to fight. Well, Jidenna demonstrated great battle prowess, and his village was able to defeat the Udogu warriors with his help. His people sang his praises all through that week, but it didn't end there, as the Udogu people went to seek help and collaborate with their sister village, Udoneoku, to help them. The Udoneoku village had some big and strong muscular men and warriors who were almost like giants, and because of this, every other villages feared them. So, when Jidenna's village learnt that the Udogu people are coming back for them with the help of the Udoneoku warriors, they fret. But Jidenna was fearless and boldly declared that they should face them. His father begged him to retreat because he considered it a death trap, but Jidenna was fearless. He encouraged their warriors and marched with them to the battlefield. And once again, the gods favored Jidenna. He slayed all the huge warriors of Udoneoku, whilst the rest of the warriors from his side handled the less huge ones, giving them victory. And that was how Jidenna became a great man, whose fame and praises went far and wide, even to the other villages. It is because of this, every young maiden in Obodozala village desired to be Jidenna's wife. Coupled with his extreme good looks and his kind heart, the maidens fought to gain his attention. But Jidenna settled for and fell in love with Adaku, and that is why Adaku is so happy. The wedding ceremony went well, and Jidenna and Adaku became husband and wife. Their marriage was going well until one evening where Jidenna returned from the bush where he had gone to set his trap and met his wife lying dead on the bare floor in their room. This was 6 months into their marriage. Nobody knew who or what killed Adaku because she was never sick and had not showed any sign of sickness. Yagazie, Adaku's friend, cried more than everybody for Adaku's death. "Why would my friend die and leave me all alone in this house?" Yagazie kept saying as she cried. Now, Yagazie was not only Adaku's friend, she was also Jidenna's stepmother. Yagazie had married Jidenna's father 18 months before Adaku and Jidenna got married. As a matter of fact, it was through Yagazie that Jidenna and Adaku got close, and so everyone knew why Yagazie was so much pained about Adaku's death. Maduka, Jidenna's father, consulted with the village's oracle chief priest on behalf of his son to find out the cause of Adaku's sudden death. He was told that it was natural and it was the will of the gods. Jidenna comforted himself and continued with his life. 2 years later, he fell in love with another girl called Ndidi and they got married after seeing each other for some time. However, Jidenna returned home one day and found Ndidi dead. This was 4 months after their marriage, and like his first wife, no one knew the cause of Ndidi's death. The gods have not revealed why she died. When they do, I will visit and tell you, the chief priest said when he was consulted again. 4 years after the death of his second wife, Jidenna was still unmarried and unwilling to take a wife again, even though some few women still tried to get his attention. "You can't continue like this. You need to marry again," Maduka told his son one day. But Jidenna expressed his fear about losing another wife again. "The deaths of your previous wives were just mere coincidence. The oracle chief priest said it is the will of the gods to call them to the great beyond. So you have no fault in this," his father said, trying to encourage him. "Let him be if he's not willing to remarry," Yagazie caught him. Jidenna appreciated Yagazie because he could see that she understood his fear and how he feels more than his father does. Much more, she has been nice and helpful since his wives died, as she cooks for him and helps him do his laundries. Jidenna is older than Yagazie, but he accords her so much respect because she was his father's wife. Anyways, Jidenna got married again for the 3rd time after the so much constant nudgings from his father. But 3 months into their marriage, Jidenna's 3rd wife died mysteriously like the other 2. People began to gossip that Jidenna may have committed a grievous sin to the gods which made them kill any woman he marries, and so all the maidens who had prayed and desired to be his wife stopped wishing to, as they would rather marry other regular men of the village and be alive than to marry the great Jidenna and die, according to them. Now, their king Akubata, has only one daughter whose name is Princess Olanna. Princess Olanna knew about Jidenna and how he bravely defeated the huge warriors of Udoneoku, but she had only seen him from afar and had never had the opportunity to get close to him. But on this particular day, Princess Olanna, in the company of her personal maid, was taking a stroll along the bush paths when she got bitten by a poisonous snake. While she cried in pain, her personal maid paced and moved in a scared and confused state, thinking of how to help her mistress, when Jidenna, who was nearby checking his trap at that time, heard a woman's cry and ran out. He tore a piece from his cloth long enough to tie Princess Olanna's leg, just a little above the area of the snake bites. After that, he plucked a leaf which had the potency to stop the poison from spreading and administered it on the affected parts. All of this traditional first aid Jidenna did within 3 minutes before he carried Princess Olanna to the palace, where the royal palace native doctor was now able to treat her properly. The next day, Jidenna visited Princess Olanna to check how she was doing, and that was when she was able to see him in a close view. She thanked him for helping her and saving her life, and days later, when she recovered fully, she paid him a visit to say thank you once again to him. Jidenna and Princess Olanna started seeing each other more often after that day, as Jidenna on some occasions sent part of his game as gift to Princess Olanna, and Princess Olanna would always come to his house to thank him for the bushmeat he gifted her. Soon, Jidenna fell in love with Princess Olanna, but he could not bring himself to express his feelings for her, for two reasons. First was because she was not just any maiden, but the princess and only child of the king. So, his chances of marrying her were 50-50, as he was not sure if the king would give him his approval. The second reason is that, even if the king gives his approval, he also would not want to lose another wife or cause the king to lose his only child. I must be insane. What makes me even think that the king would allow me marry his only daughter when he is aware of the story about what happens to any woman I marry? Jidenna thought aloud. Besides, I don't want to lose Olanna. I want her to stay alive, and I prefer to see her beautiful face from afar than to never see her face again, Jidenna said. And so, he decided never to confess his feelings for Princess Olanna. Princess Olanna had also fallen in love with Jidenna, and every time she visits him, she stares into his eyes, hoping that he would tell her what he feels for her. But Jidenna never said anything. One day, she confronted him with it, and though Jidenna denied it before her, he eventually opened up months later when she would not let him be and kept asking him. He expressed his fears to her, stating the obvious reason why he cannot marry her, though he wishes to. Princess Olanna's personal maid, who was also her confidant, advised her and told her that it was unwise for her to want to marry Jidenna. You can't possibly want to marry him. Every woman he marries dies mysteriously. He may have saved our village, but he has a pact with death, who would not allow any woman he marries lives, she said. But Princess Olanna cared less about Jidenna's story. He is a good and a great man, and I have a strong feeling within me that he has nothing to do with the death of his wives. I also believe that I would not die, but will grow old with him, Princess Olanna responded. Her father also got to know about her affection for Jidenna from the palace maids who were gossiping about it one evening. He called his daughter and advised her against it as expected. Jidenna is a good man and someone I would have loved to be my son-in-law. But whatever it is that causes his brides to die, I would not want it to take you also. So, I can't give your hand in marriage to him, King Akubata said. But Princess Olanna gave her father the same reply she gave to her personal maid. I trust my instincts on this issue. The gods would make me a comfort for Jidenna, she said. Twice, Princess Olanna dreamed that she and Jidenna got married and grew old together, and this strengthened her resolve to keep pushing. Her father and her mates begged her, but she would not listen. Jidenna also begged her to stop coming around him, but Princess Olanna would not. At least twice a week, she stopped by at Jidenna's place to say hello. Because of the frequency of Princess Olanna's visit to the compound, it became so annoying to Yagazi. It's like you are not scared for your life, for my princess. It's not like I do not want Jidenna to get married, but I would advise any maiden not to marry him until the gods could say what is killing every woman he marries, Yagazi said. But all of this did not discourage Princess Olanna. One day, a man called Amechi caught Yagazi and the village's oracle chief priest having sexual intercourse in the chief priest's hut, which was close to the shrine. The man had come to see the chief priest, but he did not find him, and neither did he find the young boy who serves the chief priest. He was going to turn around and go back home when he heard funny sounds coming from the chief priest's hut. He peeped through a small opening at the window and saw Yagazi and the chief priest in the act. Amechi is Maduka's friend and also part of King Akubata's council of chiefs. The people of Obodo Zala greatly frowns at adultery and do not tolerate it. So Amechi, being a chief and part of the people who enforce and must uphold the laws of the land, reported the issue to King Akubata in the presence of Maduka, Yagazi, and the chief priests, who were all now summoned to the palace. It was then that the chief priest confessed that Yagazi went to him some years ago to give her a charm to trap Jidenna into marrying her. But Jidenna has a strong protective spirit and no charm worked on him. Later, Yagazie agreed to marry Maduka, Jidenna's father, when he asked her to marry him, so she could be in their house, get closer to Jidenna, and hopefully get him to fall in love with her and kill his father later. But she was disappointed as Jidenna never noticed her, but married her friend Adaku instead. So, she killed Adaku with the poison she got from the chief priest. She was also responsible for killing the second and third wife he married because despite how much she took care of him, cooked his meals, cleaned his room, did his laundry, and how she was always constantly around him, Jidenna never noticed her. And so, she planned to continue eliminating any woman he marries until he would notice her and fall in love with her. And as a way to pay the chief priest for always helping her with her evil deeds, Yagazie allowed him to have sex with her whenever he pleases. As the truth about Jidenna's dead wives came to light, everyone felt pity for him and also remorseful, especially those who judged him and believed he did something wrong to the gods. Yagazie and the chief priest were banished from the village and into the evil forest. With the truth revealed and Yagazie gone, Jidenna's fear also disappeared and he proposed to Princess Olana. King Akubata accepted Jidenna as his son-in-law. Jidenna and Princess Olana became husband and wife, and king and queen many years later after King Akubata passed on. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story and have learned a thing or two from it. I would love to know. Please leave a comment. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video. Bye.